The Algonquin Cinderella. There was once a large village of the Micmac Indians of the eastern Algonquins, built beside a lake. At the far end of the settlement stood a lodge, and in it lived a being who was always invisible. He had a sister who looked after him, and everyone knew that any girl who could see him might marry him. For that reason there were very few girls who did not try, but it was very long before anyone succeeded. This is the way in which the test of sight was carried out. At evening time, when the invisible one was due to be returning home, his sister would walk with any girl who might come down to the lake shore. She, of course, could see her brother, since he was always visible to her. As soon as she saw him, she would say to the girls, "Do you see my brother?" "Yes," they would generally reply, though some of them did say, "No." To those who said that they could indeed see him, the sister would say, "Of what is his shoulder strap made?" Some people say that she would enquire, "What is his moose runner's haul?" or "With what does he draw his sled?" And they would answer, "A strap of rawhide," or "A green flexible branch," or something of that kind. Then she, knowing that they had not told the truth, would say, "Very well, let us return to the wigwam." When they had gone in, she would tell them not to sit in a certain place, because it belonged to the invisible one. Then after they had helped to cook the supper, they would wait with great curiosity to see him eat. They could be sure that he was a real person, for when he took off his moccasins they became visible, and his sister hung them up. But beyond this they saw nothing of him, not even when they stayed in the place all the night, as many of them did. Now there lived in the village an old man who was a widower and his 3 daughters. The youngest girl was very small, weak, and often ill, and yet her sisters, especially the elder, treated her cruelly. The second daughter was kinder, and sometimes took her side, but the wicked sister would burn her hands and feet with hot cinders, and she was covered with scars from this treatment. She was so marked that people called her Uchigiasku, the rough-faced girl. When her father came home and asked why she had such burns, the bad sister would at once say that it was her own fault, for she had disobeyed orders and gone near the fire and fallen into it. These 2 elder sisters decided one day to try their luck at seeing the invisible one. So they dressed themselves in their finest clothes and tried to look their prettiest.